It's because we let them rent that space in here that they don't deserve. So how do we stop it? Want to hear the secret? It won't get in unless we let it in. It can't eat unless we feed it. Remember, the way these folks act is a reflection of them, not us. And when we can relate a little bit more, we can give them that love that they really need. Always remember, hurt people hurt people. That's where that compassion and empathy comes in. And we remember when we were like that or have been like that. This way it keeps our emotion out of it and we can stay grounded in logic to be able to do the right thing. It's either the right thing or the wrong thing. And when you play in the middle, it's the wrong thing and you always go down. Stop riding this fence with yourself and be the true you. Your whisper in your blood will tell you every single time the right thing to do. Listen to it. Peace.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, I just wanted to take a moment to do a video here in the pool and just speak about cold therapy for a second and what it's done for me. First thing, I'm able to get in a cold pool like this and have a conversation with you, which was impossible when I first got in. And I know you should never say impossible, but I couldn't handle it at first. It was so hard and my body had to get used to it. So that repetition, I've been getting in since last year in October or November sometime. And I've been in every day. And the only days I didn't is when I went to California on vacation and I got cold showers every day at every hotel we hit. So I just wanted to take another moment to say how strong it's made me mentally. Like mentally, I'm able to overcome so many more things now because the hardest thing I'm going to do today, for the most part, is going to be in this pool. So any challenges I face during the day, it's like I remember, hey, man, I got in that pool this morning, man, I could do this. This is no problem. Also, the other cool thing is what it does, it adapts your mitochondria. Your mitochondria thickens and actually fuses together in your thoracic area, deepening your brown fat. And when your brown fat deepens, it's metabolic tissue, active metabolic tissue, and it actually burns calories at rest. And that's another reason why I can get in the pool and chill here and have a conversation with you in a cold pool. And another thing it does is it actually lowers your blood sugar. So when you first get in, you have blood sugar, glucose in your system. I test it. I finger stick it and I check it. And it can drop anywhere from 10 to 30 points by getting in cold therapy. And what that does, it superheats your core to protect your core temperature. And your chest here and your back, your thoracic area, when you get out, will actually be warm. And the other cool thing, the white fat, your adipose tissue, actually vibrates at a certain frequency. And when you do the cold therapy, it actually elevates the vibration, and the white fat will actually mimic brown fat and become active metabolic tissue as well. So it's really cool, and it helps you out with your immunity. It increases your immune system. It's good for your skin. Man, it's just a win-win all the way over. And it's a little bit fun because it's a challenge. And there's a deep warrior inside of every one of us, and we all love a challenge. But a lot of times in today's world, because today's world's a little bit soft, there's a lot of aversion to hard things in today's world. So a lot of people take the easier route, and the easy way always becomes the hard way. That's what I always say. So don't take the easy way, take the hard way. And the hard way will never become easy. It will get a little bit easier eventually. So remember that. Lean in, do hard things, and you'd be surprised what you're capable of, because you're amazing. Every one of us has the gift and have the gifts inside of us. We just got to tap into them and reveal them. Remember, abundance. Tap into that. Don't think scarcity. There's plenty enough to go around for all of us in the world. So have a great day. Do hard things. Lean in. Peace. It's Monday. Remember, the momentum you build today is going to last for the week. Get in there. Today's a great day. Monday's an opportunity day. Seize those opportunities. Peace. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. Hey, I made this channel, Randy Brown Raw, to be raw. And
It hasn't been anywhere raw as it needs to be. And, you know, when you get a little bit older, all that shit from your childhood starts coming back to roost, and nobody wants to admit it or actually talk about it or, you know, play it off, make it sound like it's not a big deal. But I'm telling you, you know, those kids that say the kids that fuck with you in school, in the neighborhood, you know, how your parents raised you, you know, whether you were a single parent kid, you know, what kind of parent you were left with. See, part of me is nutting up right now. I don't want to say shit because I'm too fucking worried about what everybody thinks. And that's my damn problem. And it's fucked me up until this day later in life, to where now part of me is walking on eggshells because I'm too worried about offending everyone. And what I didn't realize is those things from my childhood, like the way my dad is very abusive, raised me, and he's a control freak with a lot of narcissistic traits. And I had somebody call me out on that not too long ago. And I'm going through a hiatus with my girlfriend, or I don't even know if that's what it is anymore. I don't know if I ever get her back. And what I realize, I'm just repeating the behaviors that my dad taught me as a child. And on a social media platform, it allows more of the world to see it, because my passion and my goal in life is to change the world. And I know I'm doing it one person at a time. And it has to start with me. And I have to take some time alone right now. And, you know, I spent time alone in prison, but I was always surrounded by people. So now I'm going to spend some time alone now, and I'm going to go inside the ashes like I never have before. I have a lot of tools, and I have a lot of learning to do. Sometimes people bring something to you, and you don't want to see it because you're too busy being offended by what's in front of you, coming at you. And if we just sometimes shut up a little bit and listen, we can hear, and then we can pivot and make the right corrections later in life or in the current moment. But a lot of times is the past has a way to torment us in the present, and it corrupts our future that could be. So we're too busy making those steps in the present, worried about what happened in the past, so we don't repeat them in the future without being in flow state. So the more we can be in flow state in the present moment, nothing is going to bother us in the moment. Like right now, the moment I spoke of just passed. So I'm a little twisted right now. I'm a little fucked up in the head. But I'm going to tell you I am. You know, I get suicidal thoughts, you know, because I don't want to be here anymore, because I feel like I don't fit in. You know, I'm different. But that different is what makes me unique and makes me special. You know, nobody wants to talk about mental illness. I have bipolar disorder, and I'm an addict. I have PTSD, diagnosed with general anxiety disorder. Hear me stuttering because I'm fucking nervous about saying these things. I have PTSD. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, did you, Dad? Literally, every time I walked by my dad, I cringed as a child. Nobody wants to talk about that stuff, and everybody's too afraid to speak up. So, you know, when my mom left, it was horrible. Every bit of my childhood, I remember suffering ever since I've been alive. All I know is suffering. So that's why I'm so good at helping other people. I help other people. I'm a life coach. I'm a physical trainer, you know, PT coach. I do a lot of stuff. This ain't about what I do. It's about who I am. And I'm a person with a big heart. And if you really knew me, you can call me anytime. I'd be right there for you. I'm a real friend. I'm a rider. I'm a real dude. I'm not the guy that's going to sit there and try and front and tell you shit to make you like me. And that's a lot of times why people get butthurt with me, because I do tell the truth. But what I realize is the way I tell the truth isn't kind. And I've been working on this truth, love, and kindness thing. And I still tell the truth with a razor edge on it too much. And great, I'm direct and all that stuff. But what I realize is not as much as my mental health is my upbringing and how I was raised. I deal with abandonment issues. My mom left at 7. And, I want that love from my parents that I never got. So I'm like this big ass little boy inside that's crying for love, looking for love, and I'm grasping. And that's what I'm not going to do anymore. I'm not going to grasp, even though I miss my girl and I'd do anything to get her back. The only chance that anything happening in my life of being happy is get myself back that I've never had. So a lot of people want to be the person that they've always wanted to be, but they're too afraid of everybody. So if we can not worry about what everybody thinks, listen to our heart, and then act on that with, fearlessly, we could be so much more happier. And if you're feeling something inside of you, a little bit of apprehension when you're around people and all, that's your inner warrior wanting to come out. Your real you, everybody, your real you wants to come out. You know what the hell I'm talking about. And don't act like you don't. So don't be a second-rate version of anybody else. And I guess I can call myself out. I guess I can call the guess is my ego. And I'm going to call myself out on it. And I just want to get well. So I'm taking some time to myself. I'm separated from my family. I'm separated from my girl right now. And I'm going to get well. I'm getting counseling. I'm going to get some counseling, therapy. I'm going to take a trip by myself. And I'm going to get to know the real Randy Brown more. It takes a deep breath away. So I hope this video encourages you to be your true self, your real self, and not worry about what your parents think, what your family thinks, what your friends think. Just you in the raw. I dare you to do it. Give it a shot. And you never know what that might bring. So I don't know what it's going to bring. I know when I got out of prison about 14 years ago, I was a lot more me. In prison, I found myself, and guess what? It's because I spent a lot of time alone. I had like 6 months in the hole before. Probably a sum total of 1 year in the hole. And if you know about solitary, it sucks. But in solitary, you get to really think over and over and over again. You get your blankets only at night, and they take your pillow, and all they give you is a little Bible. No mattress, no nothing. And you have to ask for toilet paper. So ain't nobody gonna take anything from me. They're not gonna take my character. They're not gonna take my integrity. They're not gonna take who I made myself to be and who I was born to be. So I'm coming out, but I'm going into the ashes. And I'm gonna come out anew. And everybody's gonna see that. Not that I'm worried about that, but you'll see, because I'm gonna do it for me. And that's when I went to prison. I didn't worry about proving anything to anybody. I said, you know what? When I come out, people ain't gonna trust me. They think I'm gonna steal from them. They think I'm gonna lie, cheat. They think I'm gonna smoke crack again. And, I'm clean and sober. I feel good with that. But when I'm alone, I don't feel good sometimes, because I feel like I gotta do something. Well, I look back, and when I was a child, I always had to work. So if my father was working, he made me work at the same time. And if he hurt himself, he would hurt me. So what I realized later in life, I'm just a guy that is repeating the steps of my father. Sometimes hurting people that are close to me. And I'm not necessarily talking about my family. I'm talking about the family that I choose, the friends that I have near me, the people that work with me. And everybody notices I'm getting better. But sometimes we don't realize how much stuff we have to work on. And if you can really ask yourself an honest question, am I being the real me? Is this really who I am? And I think that's the problem a lot of people have with me, is that every time I get better, I get a more real version of myself. And I believe that it makes people sometimes feel, not everybody, just some people, makes them feel bad about themselves. And how do I know that? Because when I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do, the right things, I felt bad and guilty. And there was something inside of me, like I felt like I was selling out on my real self. And that's what we do when we placate to others, and we shrink, we lay down, we fall in line like a bat. And, I ain't no fucking sheep, I'm a lion. And I don't need anybody else to let me know who I am, because I know who I am. And I don't really know who this real me is all the way, but I know he's in there, and he's been crying to come out. And he's coming. Today, I felt like grabbing a fucking knot of money, getting in my car, and never fucking coming back. So I have a disease, it's called bipolar 2 disorder. It's actually a mood disorder, but you can call it a disease. So it's my gift is my curse. Even though it makes me so amazing, and I'm a visionary, that mental illness in combination with my childhood issues and my abuse and my abandonment with my mom left me all fucked up. So no wonder I can't have any healthy relationships, because I don't have a healthy relationship with myself. At least I'm not numbing myself now. And I'm feeling these feelings, and they fucking suck. I don't like these feelings. They hurt. But you know what? You gotta feel the fucking feels, man. And I notice every time I'm jacked like this and I go down in the ashes, I summon something deep in me. It's this warrior. I know how to, I can bring him out in a minute, a second, in a heartbeat, 0 to 100. But not to defend, because that's my warrior. He comes out and he defends because he's that hurt little boy that said he ain't gonna get fucked with anymore because he got punked from his dad and he got broken. My dad broke my spirit. So I'm just having enough balls to say it, and I'm gonna say it here. Because there's other people, I can't even tell you. Man, I have messages I can't even get to yet. I've got so many messages today because I left a very vulnerable post on Facebook. And I can't believe the amount of people that reached out to me that actually care about me. And not one of them was my family. And that's okay, because my friends today are the family that I choose. And if any of my family wants to reach out, maybe they're going to try and be threatening or talk shit. Maybe I can get somebody to come out and reach out, and we can break this cycle that's been perpetuated in my lineage for so long. My dad used to tell me stories about his dad at the park. He would make him and his twin brother sit on the ground, and he would kick them in their ass all the way up the park. I would say the park was about 300 yards long, maybe 400 yards long. My uncle can't shit right to this day because of it. So I know that what I'm saying, other people out there are hurt, and other people out there are scarred, and they're paying the price for it. Well, it's never too late to heal. And that's what I'm working on now, is I'm working on healing, I'm working on feeling, and getting all that shit out so we only get one life.
It doesn't matter what you believe in. While we're right here, this is the only physical body we get on this planet. So we got to make the best of it, because before you know it, we're old and gray and we have all those regrets. You know, I work with a lot of folks, and I work with some older folks, and I can see some of the ways that they were raised, or like, this isn't the depression anymore, man. You know, this isn't like, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. And that's how I was raised. You know, we didn't flush the toilet if we urinate it. And we just let it build up. Well, this ain't scarcity anymore. And I realized that I have a very bad scarcity mindset. So I make some bad decisions sometimes, and I hurt people with my mouth, with my actions, with my aggression, because I get kind of hostile. And that bipolar 2 disorder makes me rage. So if somebody triggers me, it fucking brings that animal out. And I'm medicated. I take meds. And the medication does help. But the pain's still there. And you can see it in my eyes right now. So nobody can take away your pain but you. We're responsible to take away the pain. We can talk to a counselor, a therapist. You know, we can do cognitive behavioral therapy. But I tell you what, my girlfriend sent me a bunch of links. Guess what? She was trying to tell me the whole time about all this shit that I'm saying now. And if you don't believe me, I can, it doesn't matter. She sent me a bunch of videos, a bunch of different therapists and doctors and people that are helping people. And guess what? I didn't really watch any of them because I was too busy wanting her to hear me because of her behaviors, instead of me asking, hey, what's wrong? Can I help you? See, my dad never taught me that. So I didn't know. Like, vulnerability, what the fuck is that? Vulnerable. That's for pussies. Don't cry. Man, my dad used to say, you want a reason to cry. He used to say, hey, remind me to beat you. And if I didn't, he'd beat me twice. So you think of those things that never go away. You know, they're nightmares. And you're so, like me, I'm so worried about it because I haven't gotten the healing out. Step 5 in a program I do is admit it to God, to ourselves, and another human being, the exact nature of our wrongs. So it's like I can't just go around dumping on everybody. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to hit this live thread. I'm in a freaking towel right now, get ready to jump in my cold plunge. And I said, I'm going to let my balls hang a little bit. And I'm just going to be raw as fuck. And I don't care who says what. Maybe somebody goes out of my life after this video. You know what? You weren't meant to be in my life. Because if you were meant to be in my life, you'd be with me right now. You'd be by my side. You'd be reaching out like all those other folks reached out. Genuinely concerned so I don't do something stupid. Because I think stupid things. You know, the other day I was thinking about taking all my pills, I got a lot of them, and putting them in a fucking blender and drinking that bitch. And I ain't got to deal with none of this shit anymore. I got to deal with people hating on me, talking shit behind my back. You know what I do? I get people in the best shape of their life, body, mind, soul, and they get all cocky. Not everybody, guys. This isn't everybody. You know who it's to. And then they ghost my ass because I tell them they're starting to slip back. And that's the worst thing. I have a gift, and I'll tell you what my gift is. If you know me, I'm a master manipulator. I'm one of the best, if not the best, you'll ever meet. And that's because I had to fend for myself at 7 years old. My dad's working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. You know, mom left. He's taking it out on me. So he beat the shit out of me from the pain of my mom leaving due to whatever shit that is. I'm not going to talk about that. That shit's too deep. So she rolled, and, my dad took it out on me. They gave me the decision to stay. They gave me the decision to pick one of my parents at 7 years old. So I picked my dad, and you know why I picked him? Because I felt sorry for him. That's what it did. So whether anybody watches this or not, it doesn't matter. Even though it does, that's just my ego. It's going to be healing for me. And I hope this inspires somebody. Maybe say it's not you. Somebody in your family, a friend. You know a friend or some family member suffers from a mental illness or an addiction, and they're hurting. Reach out to them. Send somebody their way. Because I tell you what, if I could have had somebody like me get a hold of me when I was younger, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, right? So as long as you don't repeat those mistakes, because I don't want to ever go back to prison again. I spent 8 years there. I'll die before I go back. I'll fucking kill myself. That's right. And I know this is dark, but it's real. And these feelings are real. So this pain, I gotta feel it. I gotta feel it, and I gotta deal it. I gotta deal with it. And I gotta accept my past, that I can't change it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And Maddie, if you watch this, just know I love you. And I'm sorry for being an asshole. It's like, check this out. Say 1 to 10, and 10 is master asshole. Back in the day, I was a 10. So as the years go by, 9, 8, 7, 6. So say I'm a 3. I'm still an asshole. It's like, I got to stop being an asshole. And the asshole is trying to, I'm a control freak because my dad's a control freak. I'm tyrannical because my dad was tyrannical. I'm aggressive and abusive sometimes because that's what my dad was. He taught me. So now all the things, I was calling my dad all the time and telling him, Dad, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you raising me and teaching me all the amazing things that you did. Because I tell you what, if you're going to motherfuck your parents, you better motherfuck them for the good too. And my dad took me to a baseball park all the time, hit balls to me, but he broke me with that. Fuck baseball. He'd take me down and hit me 20 grounders, and like the last 3, he hit them so hard, I would get bruises on me and fucking balls hit me everywhere, but we couldn't leave the fucking park until I caught 20 grounders. So it's like a love-hate thing. The times that I'm with my dad is he meant well, but he was so broken. And Dad, I love you. I do. I forgive you, even though I'm very disappointed with you. My dad came from Baltimore to Arizona and never even looked me up. Called him on Thanksgiving because I was hurting because my family ghosted me. And that motherfucker hung up on me because I said, Dad, please don't make any excuses. I called you and I needed you. And he hung up the phone on me on a FaceTime for that. So he came to town and never looked me up. But he called me and said, hey, I'm coming to town. I ain't got no call. So now I look at this and I get to see what the truth is. And I get to feel it. And now it's just me saying those things like that, I realize that ain't nobody coming to save me but me. That's right, Randy Brown. You're your own savior. Nobody else is. And you can't count on people with expectations to be there for you because you're responsible for your own mental health and you're responsible for your own actions. And I read and study a lot of different things, and I study a lot of older folks, and I study the best people on the planet, what they do. And I'm learning things now. But I never learned the psychology of the new way. There's a guy on the mountain, he said they gotta stop teaching this fucking woke stuff in school. And the younger generation, guess what? They're more vulnerable. And they're starting to talk about feelings. And my generation thinks that's weak. That's not weak. It's like me right now talking about my feelings. Don't mind me, I'm a little salty right now. But to speak about feelings and how you feel and to shed a tear and hug a guy or tell a guy in front of other people I love you or be really kind, not like the bro stuff. I was never taught that. So I'm starting to learn it. And guys, be patient with me if you're my friends. Be patient with me. I'm like an animal. So things are gonna get better. And today's a new day and tomorrow's a new day. So I'm gonna get my ice bath here. Every time I get in that bitch, I come out better, I come out stronger. I can just feel it now, just thinking about it. And I'm gonna embrace tomorrow in a different way than I ever have before. Looking at myself, being gentle with me. Because I tell you what, you can bring 5 of your baddest ass friends to whoop my ass and put Dwayne Johnson behind them, The Rock. Ain't nobody gonna whoop my ass better than me. So I'm so hard on myself. You know what? I shame myself too. Shame the fuck out of myself. Because I was never good enough for my dad. You know, everything I did was never good enough, ever. So whatever I do today, I'm an overachiever. If you know me, you know this. Guess what? I still feel like I'm not enough. So that's that worthy part, where you gotta learn that you are worthy. You're worthy and you deserve more, all of you, and me too. We deserve more, and we need to let ourselves out so we can create that future self. We have a default mode network. I don't know if you knew this. 80% of your brain's already myelinated by 10 years old. It's called myelination. It's the forming of pathways in the brain, neurals, circuits, and myelin. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into that, but and when you're up to 25 years old, your brain starts to decline. So we're walking around with 80% of our vision and how we act from before 10 years old. And what I haven't realized is that how I'm walking around, how I perceive reality is like I was taught from my father. So them old ways, even though I love you, Dad, even though you ghosted me, I still love you. Look at it, look at my eyes, see the smile? That's because no matter what, I'll always be grateful for you, Dad. And Mom, you know I'm not happy with you right now, but that's okay. I love you too. And I'm very grateful for you, Mom and Dad, because I wouldn't be here without you. And I know I was an accident. That's okay, there's a lot of accidents. But I'm worthy. And today I'm gonna live. I'm not gonna grab that wad of cash and jump in my car and disappear. Because what I would do, I would go right down the hood and buy some crack. And I would numb it so I'd never feel again. And guess what? Some of you motherfuckers want me to do that because you want to see me fail. 3 things in life most people want. They want to see you fail. They want to see you stay where you're at and not get better than them. And people want to take what they don't pay for. Ray Lewis, that's where I learned that. And Ray Lewis is a rider, he's a soldier. One of the best football players of all time for the Ravens. So I study these guys and I learned that you gotta have little balls and stop worrying about what people think and just do you. Do you. You do you, I do me, and we're good to be. As long as I don't hurt anybody in the process. And that's important. words hurt. Actions hurt. When you don't use words, that hurts too, because that's a passive aggressive thing. And damn, you don't want to hear this one. Check this out. My girlfriend also showed me this narcissistic video. And I'm not a narcissist, but damn, I got some of those traits too. It's like, fuck, I look at and I see my dad's got a lot of narcissism. Ask him to talk about himself. He'll sit there all day and tell you, me. It's all about him and how awesome he is. So I have to be careful. I don't do that shit too. So look at those things from your past. Study some new psychology. Modern day psychology's evolving. The world's evolving. To adapt is, to change is to adapt. To not adapt is to become extinct. So what I'm going to do in my family is I'm going to break the cycle of abuse. I never beat my children. I grab them up by the ear. I've done, scare them before, but I made a commitment to never beat my children. But guess what? I abused them in other ways with that and with the control. And my psychologist, one of mine, I've been seeing shrinks for 30 years. One of them said, he goes like this. He said, "Hey, Rand, don't worry. You're a shadow king, just like your dad." My son was 17. And was my coach too. He said, he's going to leave, Randy, if you don't let him walk all over you and do what he wants to do. And I'm like, why am I going to let my kid walk all over me and do what he wants to do? Because my dad taught me to not do that. So my son left a few months after that with a Dear John letter. So I was repeating the same shit with my fucking kids that my dad was doing with me in abusive ways that I couldn't see. So, when I was at 7, I always told myself, hey, I'll never beat my children, ever, like the way you beat me, Dad. But of course, I couldn't say that out loud until after he was beating me. And then he'd walk me away. And then he'd try to have a nice talk with me after he beat me with a belt. And my dad, he's buff like me. He's strong. He's a bodybuilder. And when he'd hit me with the belt, I would hear him. He would grunt so hard because he hit me with all of his fucking might. Guess what? After a while, I stopped crying. I stopped crying because I wanted to show him he couldn't fucking hurt me anymore. And know what he did? He started beating me with his fist. So I could go all day on all the beatings I got from my dad. My dad picked me up over his head once, slammed me on my face, and knocked all the braces off of me. Threw me through a window once. He'd grab my hair in the car, slam it on the console, slam it against the window, slam it against the dash, slam it against, boom, 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 boom. He would do that to me. So I think of all these things, and I don't want to bring these out, but I realize that they're in my thought process. And I don't want to hold anything back right now because I want to be that raw guy and I want to talk about it so I can get it out so it doesn't rent any more space to me and make me sick. Shit makes you sick. You know how many rehabs I've been to? Detoxes, halfway houses. I was leaving this one rehab and this one guy said, "You're only as sick as your secrets." So remember that. You are only as sick as your secrets. And if you let that shit stay inside and you don't get it out, it's going to fuck you for the rest of your life. The rest of your natural born life. And then you're going to die with that baggage of your parents that you have no business carrying. So what I do is I'll do it right here. I forgive you, Dad. And I forgive you, Mom. I genuinely do. And I give you grace. And Randy, I forgive you. And if I've ever hurt you and you're watching this video, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not sorry. That sounds bad. I apologize. I apologize to you. So I gotta get off here. I've been on here too long. I believe I've already... See, I wanted to say I said too much. And if I say that, it's because I'm worried about somebody and what they're thinking right now. Whew. God, it's like who I am as a part of me. And you know, my girlfriend called me on that. She said, you gotta stop worrying about what everybody thinks. And you know, I tell people that, but I don't realize that I'm doing it too. So we repeat those behaviors of our parents in so many ways that are dysfunctional without talking about them, because why? You're embarrassed. We're embarrassed. Who wants to talk about this shit that I'm talking about now? You know, I had somebody just tell me, you know, their brother committed suicide. You know, dad died at 12 and they were getting choked and beat. You know, I hear these stories now. I've had quite a few people reach out today and they were telling me some of their stories. And it's like, wow, they made me feel better because I could relate. Because sometimes I walk around thinking like I'm fucking crazy. Am I the only one that's experienced these things? You know, when I would go to my friend's house, I would always, I'd be like, man, can I trade with you? You can go live with my dad and I can live with you. Because you guys do fun stuff. Hey, I'm not going to say I never had fun with your dad. We've had some fun. But when it's like me, if you do this much fun and good and you do this much bad, this takes away all the good stuff. And that's what I don't realize too, is I'm a pretty awesome dude. I know I am, even though I'm fucked up. But that little area that's dark, that dark area, it's like one shit takes away 100 attaboys. So here I am, fucking alone again, because I did it, because I'm not coming clean all the way of my fucking behaviors in my past. Well, here it is. It's out. I'm coming clean. And, you know, I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. And I've done all those things. So I'm not a liar anymore. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a stealer. And I give today. And I give to a fault. But I give so much that I don't have enough for me sometimes. And when we do that, they call it halt. Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. And that's a bad place to be, especially for somebody like me with a mental illness. So I'm gonna say one more honest thing and get off. The reason I did this video is to stop me from going out and doing it. So, if I'm judged, there you go. That's for you judgers. At least I'm gonna be alive tomorrow. Now what? Don't mind my saltiness. I'm all fucked up right now and dark. I'm thinking really dark thoughts. But I'm not gonna die today. I'm not gonna be a guy that does it. Because I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live. So my integrity's good, so I know I don't lie. And every time I give my word, I don't break it, except for I broke it to Elisa once. Yeah. Fucked around. So I give you my word that I'm not gonna today. You have my word. Did you know about 30, it's either 30 or 40 to 60% of people like me commit suicide? Now I know why. And it's because people like me don't really fit in. I'm different. I'm a type A, that's 8% of the population. Dominant personality, and then I have bipolar, and then I have addiction, and I have all that shit from the childhood. So I'm like 1% of the population. So no wonder I fucking stick out like a sore thumb and I don't fit in. That's okay, I accept that. So I'm not gonna end it tonight. I'm gonna get in that tub. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna wake up a new man. For those of you that see this or watch it, I hope you have a great day. And if it's anybody like that real close to me, I love you. And thank everybody for reaching out today, because you helped save my life. See, I wanted to run and hit the button because I don't want anybody to see me like this. But that's what we need to do. We need to come clean and come out, show our feelings and emotions, and just come clean. So I need to come to a part where I end this video in a nice way. Randy, I don't love you all the way right now, but I do really like you. See, I want to shame myself right now. I wanted to say I really like you, but I don't. But I do like me. I don't love me yet. Self-love. Never. I don't know. I don't think I really had it. I've never loved myself. I front it, put on the facade like I did, but I don't. And that's probably why I think about offing myself sometimes. Because if somebody loved themselves, why would they end themselves, right? So I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get some help. I promise. Give my word. I give you my word. I'm gonna get some help. And I am getting help. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Namaste. Peace. I don't even know how to end this motherfucker. Jesus. There we go.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, I just wanted to make a quick video about rituals and routines and sticking with them no matter what, and how much they protect you on those days where you're really not feeling it. One of the best things that you have is your ritual and routine to step into first thing in the morning, and staying true to it, because not every day we're always going to feel peachy and we're always going to feel like doing what we need to be doing first thing in the morning in order to get the day done in the way we want to get the day done. So always remember, stay true to yourself, and yourself will be true to you when you stick with it. And before you know, time goes by and you're going to be proud of yourself. I promise you. You'll be proud of yourself that you stuck with something for a significant period of time, and then you develop that habit, and that ritual and that routine is actually going to protect you. I promise you. So stick with it. You'd be surprised what you're capable of, because you're amazing. And like my boy Goggins says, you got like 40 to 60% still in the tank when you think you don't have it. You don't have to be Goggins, but you can be you. And that's the most important part. So stay true to you, and you will be true to you. I promise. True to self, and self will be true to you. Peace. There's our timer. Good afternoon, everyone. Take a look at this, please. This is one of the places I used to come up to all the time, up here on the roof. And what I realized is that I haven't been up here for months and months. And I just want to thank everybody for reaching out through my hardships here that I've been experiencing. And been down on my knees for weeks, eating that humble pie, looking at what knocked me down there and what I allowed to knock me down there. And what I realized is that I just forgot where I came from. And sometimes we need to have our asses knocked down to our knees a little bit to really realize what we have to live for and how grateful we should be for all the things that we do have in our lives, instead of thinking about the things that we don't have. And then we start thinking about the things that we don't have, and it keeps you grasping, and then you get clingy, and that never ends up good. Ends up in halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And aloneness doesn't mean loneliness. I had my friend Dan come over and spend some time with me today, and that was one of the things he said today. And Dan's in his mid-70s, and he's got a lot of knowledge to share. And he said, just aloneness doesn't mean loneliness, Randy. And that's what I had to do, is I had to sit in this place to really start figuring out what I have to be grateful for. And I mean, look at this. It's so much beauty around that sometimes we get in our head, and I can speak for myself, and there's a saying, in your head, dead. And when we get in there, sometimes that's a scary place to go when you're not in the right place. And what I did is I asked for help, and I don't really ask for help. And this is the first time I ever publicly asked for help, because I just felt that that's what I needed to do. And I've had so many different people reach out to me that I haven't even spoken to for over a decade. And I have people reaching out to help me that I don't even know. And what that shows me is that I'm not alone. So mental illness, along with addictions, along with abandonment and trauma, those things really, they can really take us down if we allow them to. And what I realize is nothing on this planet is worth me not breathing anymore. And I know that you know this. And if anything, I'm speaking to this video for me to look back on it later, to reflect on. I hope it's not too windy, guys. I'm attempting to block the wind. But this is going to be something for me to look back on later on in life, to realize that I need to be grateful for this wind that's blowing on my back, this sun that's shining on my face. Was that a Freudian slip? The sun shining on my faith. And that faith is to believe in something bigger than myself. God's up there. He speaks to us, and it's up to us to listen. I have different ways of connecting. You have your way to connect to God. I have my way to connect to God. It doesn't mean that your way or my way is right, as long as we're listening. The channel upstairs is always open. And what I allowed is distractions and stuff and bad habits and stuff from my past to wreak havoc on me. And that's okay. Why is it okay? Because I'm still alive, breathing today. To be grateful for the sun on my face, the breath in my lungs, the ability to be able to crawl up and climb up on a roof, and to make a video to hopefully inspire someone else out there to ask for help with something they may be suffering with. And And it's not just my bipolar disorder that I suffer with. It was those childhood issues that I allowed to never allow me to step into the man I've always meant to be, that I've never been. So I'm going to end it with this, is I'm going to be the man that I've always been, that I've never allowed myself to be. And that starts today. Today is my rebirth. April 30th, 2023 is my new rebirth, where I decided to really step into me. And as you can hear, I'm not sounding salty about it. I'm not defensive. I have nothing to prove to anybody but myself. So, hi me. Get used to it. We're going to be here for a while, and we got a lot of work to do. And trust me, I'm not done. I'm in the dark room still, and I'm on my knees, staying humble. So thank you guys for everyone that was there for me. And I just want to let you know I'm okay. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, Randy Brown. And you ain't got to worry about what anybody thinks, as long as you know it's going to be okay. Peace. Take care of everybody, especially your own self. Okay, everybody, guess what? Today is going to be a great day because we're going to make it one. Are you with me? Now, come on, let's go.